Hey, it's Barb from Wonderful Works. If you serve in children's ministry, then you probably are already familiar with separation anxiety. But have you ever stopped to think about what that really feels like? Because as we're going to learn today, sometimes the best way to help someone is to understand how they feel. So glad you're here today. She does not want her mom to leave. Another fun case of separation anxiety. If only we knew what to do to help her feel better. Separation anxiety. What does that feel like? Separation anxiety is, just kidding. If you serve in children's ministry, then you already know what it is. It's a normal part of childhood development, often lasting up to age 3. But for some kids, separation anxiety can last much longer. Did you know that between 4 and 5% of children ages 7 to 11 have serious anxiety when separating from parents? So that's a lot of anxious kids. You know who else is feeling anxious? Parents of children who have separation anxiety may be nervous too. They may fear that their child will have a hard time adjusting and that they may not be able to stay in the service. But many, especially parents of children who are older, also fear being judged and misunderstood. And they have this fear for good reason, because often it's happened to them before. So let's start with this question. What does that feel like? To answer that, I want you to try something with me. If you're a parent, I want you to think about a time when your child struggled with something that most other kids didn't. Or if you don't have kids, think of a time you struggled yourself. Now, remember all the advice that other people who hadn't shared in your struggles gave you? Or think about those people who told you that you shouldn't be struggling at all. Was that helpful? Well, the same applies here. Unless you've been a parent of a child who has serious issues with anxiety, then you don't understand what it truly feels like. So don't judge and don't give unsolicited advice. Instead, be there for parents by being warm, acknowledging their feelings, and reassuring them. Then invite them to partner with you by asking these questions before they leave. Now let's take a look at how the kiddos might be feeling. They may be feeling alone, lost, and out of control. Have you ever felt like that? I have. And if you have too, what was it that helped you feel better? Maybe feeling understood, knowing what to expect next, and getting some control back in your life? Yeah, that sounds about right. It also sounds like this, the ABC approach. If a child is anxious, try using the ABC approach. A. Acknowledge their feelings. I know you feel sad. I miss my parents too sometimes. This helps a child feel understood and less alone. B. Set the boundaries, or in other words, explain what she can expect. Your mom and dad are in another room right now, but they'll be back after we sing and play. Helping a child understand what to expect reduces confusion, and using visual aids like a first-then board, visual schedule, or visual timer can help too. C. Give controlled choices between 2 preferred activities. Would you like to play with bubbles or play with blocks? Giving children a choice gives them back some feeling of control. All of these things help reduce anxiety, and the good news is, often that's all that's needed for a child to begin calming down. But sometimes a child may be too upset to even process things. So if this is the case, stay with the child and keep them safe. Try to steer them away from walls to reduce the chance of headbanging, and make sure that the exits are gated or watched so that the child does not run off. Let's look at the environment now. Imagine sitting in a room feeling really stressed out about something. Now imagine that someone has just sprayed stinky perfume on you. Your children are arguing over their video game, and your spouse is loudly chewing oatmeal in your ear. How are you handling things now? Right? So when we're stressed out, or let's say we're like a child who's experiencing, separation anxiety, it turns out our environment matters too. If you want to create a calmer child, start by creating a calmer environment. Turn down the music, dim the lights, offer soothing sensory items like a weighted stuffed animal or a rocking chair, and most importantly, remain calm yourself. Wow, I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm feeling better already. So how about one more thing before we go? We just want you to know this. Serving in children's ministry can be tough sometimes. There's one way we hope that you do feel, and that is appreciated. Because children's ministry matters, and so do you. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.